Early edition of KCAL News at 8 o'clock. I'm Mike Rogers here at the desk. We're breaking in to tell you about breaking news. The LA County Sheriff's Department in pursuit of a white utility van you see right there now in the Boyle Heights area. Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal. Des, you're just getting overhead. This is a pretty high profile vehicle.
Wow, wrong side. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Des, you got me up there in SkyCal?
Yeah, boy, Mike, scary. Yeah. Do you have me here, Mike?
Yeah, we got you. We're looking at this high-speed utility
here.
vehicle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, super scary here. Wrong side of the road for seemingly no reason. This vehicle that we have heard has already gotten in several collisions. We'll try to see if we're able to get a better perspective at some point where there's any damage on this vehicle. But whatever crash they've gotten in, you can see it has not deterred this person from driving crazy. It's not disabled the vehicle. They almost lost control when they were getting on the freeway at one point, we had heard as well. Pretty scary here because this person's driving this like a sports car, and it's anything but with this high-profile vehicle. Look at him swerving all over the place. We're at the end of rush hour here. He's blasted through red lights, barely slowing down. You saw there was LA County Sheriff's deputies helicopter on this one, an allegedly stolen utility vehicle with the sheriff. Oh, look at all these sparks here. I think he lost a tire. He's going to lose control. Sliding out here. Wow. What happened there? One of the rear compartments opening up. Let's see if that's going to be it for this driver here as they totally lost control. And yeah, I think he's had enough. We'll try to get to the south side here as we're off of Indiana and Denison Street. So wow, just as almost right when we got overhead. Very lucky this did not end in a horrible crash injuring some innocent person with the way that they were driving. So fortunately here, looks like out on the pavement, hopefully going to be a peaceful ending here, Mike.
Yeah, and Desmond, I just want to recap for our viewers. This was the LA County Sheriff's Department that was in pursuit of this reported stolen utility truck, utility van / utility truck here, chasing it through the East LA Boyle Heights area. We know that the suspect has crashed at least twice during the course of this pursuit. And actually, Desmond, on this most recent pass, he actually drove right back past the scene of one of the earlier crashes. So there were actually units that were kind of in that area dealing with that. But yeah, somehow, and you know, I did hear them calling for spike strips earlier, Desmond. I didn't see them actually use one, but I did see them or hear them call for it. Now, at one point, that front left tire we think came off. We saw those sparks. Looks like there are 2 police helicopters there. I've seen LA County Sheriff's and LAPD. Des, as we have deputies walking towards them.
Yep, and they are putting him in handcuffs here, not wasting any time with this person. And it looks like they could see that there's no one else in the compartment. So they're going to come around and just check out the interior, the rear compartment here to see what is in there. But this suspect come to an end here. They might have just driven that thing so crazy that they lost their tire. Yeah, you were talking about, you know, potential spike strip. We didn't hear about a good spike or anything like that. But you know, sheriff's deputies, you know, sometimes when these pursuits get really wild, they let them go. For whatever reason, they did not want to let this one go, and this person is headed to jail tonight.
Yeah, Des, Susie Suh, Chauncey Glover joining us here at the anchor desk. Guys, that long skid mark as that van spun around right there.
Yeah, that was just crazy to see the sparks, Mike, that were flying out of the car. You know, and one of the things that I'm thinking about is that utility truck. It was stolen. That was someone's livelihood. And someone tonight is going, thank goodness they are going to be getting that car back, but not in one piece.
Yeah, I mean, remarkably, a tire is probably, I mean, there could be some damage, you know, to the front axle or something like that, but the way that thing was driving, I mean, that is essentially a missile, and luckily it didn't slam into anything.
On the wrong side of the road. I mean, that was some crazy erratic driving.
Mike, once again, where did this start?
So this started with in East LA with the East LA Sheriff's Station. So we're actually, I believe we're back in their jurisdiction after he kind of crossed up and down through the freeways. He went south of the 5 freeway, then back north into Boyle Heights and back around. And here we are in Indiana and Denison, which I believe is East LA Sheriff's jurisdiction. They did, for a brief period of time, have the help of the LAPD helicopter. Now you see it just flying through the shot there. Yeah. That is the LA County Sheriff's Department.
You know, so oftentimes when we see sparks like that, Mike, you know, we know that the officers tried something. Perhaps the deputies, they tried a pit maneuver or more along the lines of spike strips if we're seeing sparks flying out of the tire there. But you said you didn't hear any calls for it.
We heard for a call for an East LA unit to get into position with spikes. I don't know if that ever happened, but Des, just now you were looking at that tire. It looked kind of chewed up.
Already, didn't it?
Yeah, not just that, but you can see it looks like the bumper's dislodged as well. And we know that the suspect had gotten into 2 different crashes. So maybe, you know, in the course of one of those crashes might have done some damage to the wheel well or the tire or something. So maybe that's what happened. I mean, we heard this guy fishtailing, and even in the brief time that we were on the pursuit, it looked like they were really having trouble controlling the vehicle. So just the tire gave up there. lost control, spun out, amazingly didn't hit any other cars or anybody out here walking around at the tail end of a very nice day in the East LA area. So, you know, definitely unfortunate for the owner of this truck, but it could have been so much worse, guys.
Okay. And Desmond, you said there were 2 other crashes before we got to this intersection and crashed out right here?
Yes, 2 other crashes, one of them not too far away from where we are right now. We didn't hear about the severity of those crashes, if any innocent people were hurt or anything. It doesn't appear that they were very severe collisions, at least looking at the damage of this vehicle. Hopefully that was the case, but whatever those collisions were, it certainly seemed like it was enough to disable this vehicle eventually.
If you're just joining us here on KCAL News at 8, this is an early edition of KCAL News at 8 tonight. This is a pursuit suspect now in custody after a chase of a stolen vehicle, and they got out of that car pretty quickly there after they spun out, after sparks were flying from that tire, and it looks like they're still there on scene there. They're transported into one of the patrol cars units, and now they will go ahead and take off and process them, but looks like this is coming to an end. But boy, there were some moments during this chase which were really wild, driving on the wrong side of the road, driving so fast on surface streets. And as Desmond was talking about, 2 crashes before we even got to this intersection here. As you can see on the right side of your screen is what we were looking at earlier when those sparks were flying out of that left tire, as you see there, and that car, utility truck, goes spinning.
Yeah, and that was a quick spin. Like we saw those sparks driving up this road right here, and then suddenly spinning out right there, and then getting him into police custody. I would say all within probably about 30 seconds between once he stops right here and getting him on the ground, and then getting him into police custody in one of the cruisers, and then also just checking to make sure that there's no one else inside of this van.
Which really is, you know, good. I mean, how many times have we seen just because they lose one tire doesn't mean they're done, right? That was kind of my concern, especially when he spun around towards the front of those patrol vehicles, was that he was going to try to continue. I mean, in reality, he lost a front tire. He didn't lose either of the rear tires. This probably is a rear-wheel drive vehicle here, so certainly could have been a lot longer, but once it spun out like that, I think that was maybe scared him a little bit, and the jig was up, and he realized it, and was time to go to jail, especially because the sheriff's department didn't give this one up. This was a stolen car that easily they could have gone into surveillance mode or given up altogether. That's not uncommon for the sheriff's department, but guys, they chose to stay with it.
All right, now at 8, high fives and hugging after a heist. We're going to bring you that story here in just a minute as we wrap this pursuit suspect in custody. We'll have developments here